The book of Numbers tells the story of Zelophehad's daughters, a tale of bravery and determination. These 5 women, Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah, faced a dilemma that could change their lives forever. Their father had died without sons, leaving them in a precarious position. In that time, inheritance laws were clear. Property and wealth were passed down to male heirs. Without a male heir, the daughters were set to lose their family land, their heritage, and their security. Moses as Moses. The sisters showed great courage in the face of such adversity. They approached me, Eleazar the priest, the leaders, and the whole community, determined to seek justice. They presented their case at the entrance of the tent of meeting, a place of great significance. They argued passionately that their father had been a faithful man, loyal to his people and his God. They pleaded that their father's name should not be lost simply because he had no sons. This act was bold and unprecedented. It challenged the existing social order, questioning long-held traditions and norms. The daughters' courage and determination set in motion a significant event that would be remembered for generations. Their actions would not only secure their own future, but also reshape the laws of inheritance in Israel, ensuring justice for many others to come. Moses took their case to the Lord. God responded with a just and compassionate solution. Lord as Lord. The daughters are right. They should receive their father's inheritance. God instructed Moses to establish a new law. Moses as Moses. If a man dies without sons, his daughters will inherit his property. This ensures that women are not unfairly disadvantaged. It also protects family legacies. God's response went beyond the immediate situation. He established a precedent for fairness and equity. This divine intervention had a profound impact on the Israelites. It showed that God's laws were not static. They could adapt to ensure justice for all. The book of Numbers also recounts the appointment of Joshua. This happened during a time of transition for the Israelites. They were nearing the end of their 40 years in the wilderness. Moses, their leader, was approaching the end of his life. Lord as Lord. Moses commissioned Joshua. He is to lead the Israelites into the promised land. Joshua was a man of faith and courage. He had served as Moses' aide. He was a proven leader, ready to take on this monumental task. Moses, as Joshua's appointment, was a pivotal moment. It marked the passing of the mantle of leadership. It signified God's faithfulness. God was preparing a new generation to inherit the promises made to their ancestors. God gave specific instructions to Moses regarding Joshua's appointment. These instructions were not just casual suggestions, but were divine mandates that needed to be followed meticulously. He was to commission Joshua in the presence of Eleazar the priest and the whole community. This was to ensure that everyone witnessed the divine choice and understood the significance of the moment. This public declaration affirmed God's choice. It was a moment of great importance as it signified that Joshua was chosen by God himself to lead the people. It established Joshua's authority before the people. This was crucial for maintaining order and ensuring that the people would follow Joshua as they had followed Moses. Lord as Lord. Lay your hand on Joshua. This command was not just a ritual, but a powerful act of transferring divine authority. This act symbolizes the transfer of leadership. It was a visible sign that Joshua was now the chosen leader, endowed with the same spirit that had guided Moses. It is an impartation of authority and blessing. This blessing was essential for Joshua to lead effectively and with divine favor. I promise to be with Joshua, just as I have been with you. This promise was a reassurance that Joshua would not be alone in his leadership. The Lord's instructions emphasized several key principles. These principles were designed to ensure that the transition of leadership was smooth and divinely guided. These included the importance of public affirmation, the transfer of authority, and the assurance of God's presence. Public affirmation was crucial for the people to accept Joshua as their new leader. These principles were essential for a smooth transition of leadership. Without them, the people might have been confused or resistant to the change. Eleazar the priest, as Eleazar the priest. This public declaration is crucial. It serves as a divine endorsement of Joshua's leadership. It affirms God's choice and establishes Joshua's authority. With these divine instructions, the people could trust that Joshua was the right leader for them. The Israelites were assured of a seamless transition and continued guidance under Joshua's leadership. This assurance was vital for maintaining the unity and faith of the community as they moved forward under new leadership. Section 5. A lasting legacy. The impact of Zelophehad's daughters and Joshua's leadership. This section delves into the profound influence these biblical figures had on their society and the enduring lessons they imparted. The stories of Zelophehad's daughters and Joshua's appointment are intertwined, showcasing a unique blend of courage, faith, and divine guidance. They reveal important truths about God's character and His plans for His people, emphasizing His justice, mercy, and unwavering commitment to His promises. They highlight the themes of justice, transition, and God's faithfulness. These narratives serve as powerful reminders of how divine principles can shape human history and societal norms.
The daughters' courage led to a more just and equitable society. By standing up for their inheritance rights, they challenged the status quo and brought about significant legal reforms. Their story continues to inspire, reminding us that even in ancient times, the fight for justice and equality was crucial. It demonstrates the importance of standing up for what is right, even when it challenges tradition. Their bravery set a precedent for future generations to follow.
Joshua's appointment ushered in a new era for Israel. As Moses' successor, he was tasked with leading the Israelites into the Promised Land. Under his leadership, they would conquer the Promised Land, fulfilling the promises made to their ancestors. His story reminds us that God equips and empowers those He calls to leadership. Joshua's faith and obedience were instrumental in achieving victory and establishing a new nation.
These events had a profound impact on the Israelites. They not only shaped their immediate future, but also left a lasting legacy that would influence generations to come. They serve as a reminder of God's faithfulness, justice, and His ongoing provision for His people. The stories of Zelophehad's daughters and Joshua continue to resonate, offering timeless lessons on leadership, courage, and divine purpose. Section 6. Echoes of Courage. The daughters of Zelophehad's enduring example. The daughters of Zelophehad stand as powerful examples of courage. In a time when women had limited social standing, they dared to challenge the status quo. They recognized an injustice and refused to remain silent.
Their courage wasn't fueled by anger or resentment. It was driven by a deep sense of faith and a desire to honor their father's memory. They believed in a just God. They trusted that He would hear their plea.
Their story resonates throughout history, inspiring countless others to fight for justice and equality. They remind us that every voice matters, and that even the seemingly powerless can affect change. Section 7. A blueprint for justice, the legacy of God's equitable laws.
God's response to the daughter's plea wasn't just a solution to an immediate problem. It established a precedent for a more just and equitable society. The new inheritance laws ensured that women wouldn't be unfairly disadvantaged. These laws reflected God's heart for the vulnerable and marginalized. They demonstrated His commitment to fairness and compassion. This act of divine justice served as a blueprint for future generations. It reminded them to establish laws that reflected God's character. The legacy of these laws continues to challenge us today. It calls us to examine our own systems and structures. We must ensure that they promote fairness, equality, and opportunity for all.
Section 8. Leadership and legacy, reflecting on Joshua's appointment.
Joshua's appointment as Moses' successor was a pivotal moment in Israel's history. It marked a transition from the wilderness wanderings to the conquest of the Promised Land. It also highlighted the importance of godly leadership. Joshua's leadership was characterized by obedience, courage, and unwavering faith in God. He led the Israelites through numerous battles and challenges. He remained faithful to God's commands. His leadership paved the way for Israel to become a powerful nation. Joshua's story reminds us that true leadership requires more than just charisma or ambition. It demands humility, integrity, and a deep commitment to serving both God and people.
Section 9. A timeless message, the relevance of the story today. The stories of Zelophehad's daughters and Joshua's appointment hold timeless relevance. They speak to enduring human experiences. These include the pursuit of justice, the challenges of transitions, and the importance of faithful leadership. We still grapple with issues of inequality and injustice. We face times of transition and uncertainty. We long for leaders who will guide us with wisdom and integrity. These ancient stories offer guidance and hope. They remind us that God is present in our struggles. He hears the cries of the marginalized. He raises up leaders to guide us. He is faithful to fulfill his promises. Section 10. Conclusion. Finding inspiration in ancient wisdom. The Book of Numbers offers a wealth of timeless wisdom. The stories of Zelophehad's daughters and Joshua's appointment are powerful examples. They remind us of God's justice, his provision, and his guidance. These ancient stories encourage us to act with courage. They challenge us to pursue justice. They inspire us to trust in God's divine plan. Let us carry these lessons with us as we navigate the complexities of our own time.